2.2, building it is the easy part. Let's calculate take-home money for monthly expenses. Charlie works full-time as an executive assistant, and he has a check for $1,323.13 direct deposited into his account every other Friday. How much does Charlie make per year? All right, let's bring out the easy stuff. A year. I know what a year is, and if you're paid every other Friday, you're paid weekly, or like every 2 weeks. So we're talking about weeks. A year is 52 weeks, but you're paid every other Friday. Every other Friday stood for weeks. That's how we knew to go to weeks. So if you're paid every other Friday, you're paid twice a month. You're actually paid bi-weekly. So bi-weekly, Charlie earns 11,000, or sorry, $1,323.13. So if Charlie is paid bi-weekly, that's every 2 weeks. That's twice a month. So he's not paid 52 weeks. He's paid half of that. So you work 52 weeks, but you only get paid for half of that because you're paid every 2 weeks. So you're actually paid 26 times. So if Charlie is making $1,323.13 and paid 26 times, we're just going to multiply. So Charlie takes home $34,401.38. If a worker is paid a salary of $47,400 per year, and in the tax bracket that results in 27% deductions, what is their monthly take-home pay? All right, so you are deducted 27% your annual income. So you're deducted 27%, which we know is 0.27, of how much you're taking home, which is 47,400. So we actually get a deduction of $12,798. So that's how much we're being deducted every year. So if we take home 47,400 and we're being deducted 12,798, our actual take-home pay is $34,602. So we need to know the monthly take-home pay. So there's 12 months in a year. So if you make $34,602 and you get, I want to know the monthly. So we divide by 12, we get 2,883.50. Necessary expenses. Housing like rent, mortgage, utilities, electric, water, heating, food, groceries, essentials. Transportation, car payments, gas, public transportation, healthcare insurance, debt, education, basic clothing, personal care. Luxuries, travel, entertainment, high-end electronics, designer clothes, gourmet food, spas, luxury vehicles, jewelry, art, home renovations. So these are the differences between necessary expenses and luxury expenses. Understanding the difference. Necessary expenses. These are essential costs required for basic living and maintaining a reasonable standard of living. They typically include items like housing, food, healthcare, and transportation, which, all should be free. Luxuries. These are non-essential discretionary expenditures that enhance quality of life or provide enjoyment beyond basic needs. Luxuries often involve spending on travel, entertainment, high-end goods, and indulgent experiences. Variable expenses are costs that can fluctuate from month to month depending on usage of their consumption. So utilities, gas, those are all fluctuating variable expenses. Characteristics of variable expenses, fluctuation. Variable expenses can change month to month based on usage patterns or external factors. Control. When you can influence variable expenses through behavioral change like reducing energy consumption, they are often less predictable than fixed expenses. Leslie shares an apartment with two friends, and the rent and utilities are split equally by all three of them. Find the amount of left for a variable expense and luxuries if her monthly income is $1,556.27 and fixed expenses are shown below. Alright, so Leslie shares and splits rent and utilities three ways. So rent and utilities. Those get split between everybody. So the three people, they share $1,100 for the rent and $327 for the utilities. So they actually share $1,427, but they split it three ways. So they each pay $475.67 for rent and utilities. So Leslie's income is $1,556.27. Every month for rent and utilities, she pays $475.67. And then she pays 88 for transportation. Then she pays 48.20 for insurance. Then she pays 91.50 for her cell phone. And then she pays 38.95 for her gym. So she's left with $813.95 every month. That's what she's left over with. Leslie treats her roommates to salads and pizzas from Josie's every Monday and Thursday at a cost of $29, including delivery and tip. What percentage of her budget after fixed expenses goes towards these semi-weekly gatherings on average? So we need to know how much is Leslie spending, because she's buying it twice a week. So she spends $29 twice a week. So that's 29 plus 29, or 29 times 2. It's the same thing. So she's spending $58 a week to feed her roommates. What a nice roommate. So let's calculate our monthly spending. If she does $58 a week, and there's 4 weeks in a month, that's $232 a month. Ooh, $232 a month for that. So now we need to know how much is that of her budget. So remember, she left off with $813.95 a month. So to find our percentage, we take our monthly spending and we're going to divide it by our leftover. So our monthly spending was 232. Our leftover was 813.95, and we get 0.285029793, which is point. So let's round this to two decimal places, or sorry, percentage. So if we round this to a percentage, we move the decimal place 1, 2, so that's 28. But since this is a 5, we're actually going to round this up to 29%. So 29% of Leslie's budget is spent on pizza and salads every month. So Dharma and Greg have combined monthly incomes of $5,208.94. They want to save ahead for semi-annual property taxes, $1,146, semi-annual car insurance, $493.21, and annual homeowners insurance of $893.20. What percentage of their income should be saved each month? Semi-annual means twice a year. So the very first thing they need to do is calculate their annual expenses for the property tax, the insurance, the annual homeowners insurance, stuff like that. So they told us that they have a semi-annual property tax of $1,146. And then we have our semi-annual car insurance of $493.21. And then annual homeowners of $893. So only annual means one. All right, but we have two semi-annuals. So semi-annual means we have to pay it twice a year. So we have to pay our property tax twice a year and our insurance twice a year. So we're going to times 2 to get our total of how much we're costing every year. So every year we pay $2,292 for our property tax. Every year we pay $986.42 for our insurance. And since it's annual home insurance, we only pay it once a year. So we add it all up to get our total. Our total is $4,171.62. All right, now we need to calculate the monthly savings required. So we figured out how much they spend for the year for their bills. Now we need to calculate monthly. So to calculate our monthly required savings, we take our total expenses and divide it by 12 because we want to know monthly. So our total expenses were 4,171.62, and we're going to divide that by 12 months, and we get 347.62. So that's how much they need to save every month. But now we need to know what is the percentage of that income. So they told us their monthly income was $5,280.94. So our income is 5,284 or $280.94, and then our required savings is 347.62. So to find our percent of income, we take the required monthly, and we're going to divide that by our income. So our monthly required is 347.62, and we're going to divide that by our income, which is 5,280.94, and we get 0.0658291.895. If you want to get a percentage, you multiply by 100. So to get percentage, you multiply by 100, or you just move the decimal place 2 times. So 1, 2. If we moved it twice, we would have 6.58291.895. Let's just say, let's round it to 2, so 6.58%. So 6.58% of their income every month they need to save in order to save up for this property taxes and stuff like that.